We're going to do a little bit of partitioning to help understand that a disk is a disk, but you can partition it into one or many or whatever you want to do. Let us power off, which does not turn the power off. It's just a quick shut down the operating system command and then power off the hardware, we hope, because we're going to add an extra disk to our virtual machine like we did with our Windows, maybe with our server. I don't remember if we've done that yet. One of my classes, we did that. So we're going into settings and we have our storage. There it is. There's our hard drive with our SATA controller. So we need one of these little guys. We need to add, there we go. This can add an attachment.
That one next to the SATA controllers, no, higher, to the left, to the left, to the left. Yeah,
Well, here's where I want to be.
This
Yep.
one will work.
That's probably what my directions say too. Oh, no, I just say to do it. So we need to add another disk. Here's all the disks we have available. And
Create.
I'm on the wrong one. Create. All right, 20 gigabytes big enough? Sure. Sounds good to me. If it doesn't say anything about size, so 20 gigabytes is fine. There it is. It's not attached. So we're going to choose it. There it is. Now we have two of them. And we'll click OK and start it up. And then we have a brand new disk that has nothing on it. Which also allows us to take a look at how disks are numbered in Linux versus Windows.
Yeah.
Windows are listed by C, D, E, F, G. Like I have a C, I have a D, I have a X, Y, Z. They're listed by letters. There we go. Linux are listed by a combination of letters and numbers. All right, let's pause for a moment while this is starting. As we just learned, we don't have to log into the GUI. We can pick, what did I do? 5. We can just log right into the command line, which is user, password 01, and there I am. Because I'm user, I have all the power I had before. BLK lists all the block devices. And we have SDA, which is our main SATA controller. We have SDA is our first disk drive. It has a partition SDA1, SDA2, and SDA5 is a special partition that's our swap file for when the CPU swaps things out to its L1, L2, L3 cache to memory, then this is the next space it swaps it out to before it says, okay, I'm done with you. The next time I need you, I will read it directly from the disk. So the swap file is a special hard drive part that allows you to retrieve information recently used more quickly than going all the way back to the disk. Now we have an SDB. That's our new drive. And we have an SRO. It even gives you a hint as to what that is.
DVD drive or something.
Yeah, ROM means DVD drive. And the only reason that's in there is because by default, virtual machines have DVD drives, and so I never take it out. So this is what we have. We have an SDB, but notice there's no little SDA 1, 2, or 5 underneath it. So we're going to make one. But before we do that, we have to do an fdisk, which is interesting because it's the same thing in Linux. I mean, it's the same thing in Windows. So sudo fdisk. Fdisk creates partitions. So we're going to create an fdisk partition, a gigantic partition. Let's see, SDB we want. And then it's going to say, oh, better make sure you know what you're doing. There we are. So be careful. Changes will remain in memory until you decide to write them. So if you get panicked and not sure what you're doing, just Q for quit or Control C and you're done. So we're going to type M for manual. Oh, look at all these things we can do. Delete, create. We can list known partitions. We don't have a partition. So are there any partitions present? Well, P would be
List of partitions.
yeah, and there are none.
No partitions.
Nope, we just have a hard disk with no partitions. So a hard disk has to have at least one partition to be able to be available to a user. So we're going to create a new partition. Now, part of the Linux operating system install and part of Windows operating system install and part of most operating system install is creating that initial partition or partitions. Primary,
Yeah,
extended. Now we're back to the MBR days.
yeah. Because there is information below that this drives already has like MBR DOS partition table.
Yep, as a DOS
We have
partition
to
table.
have at least one primary partition first.
Yep, so we have to have a primary partition to start with. Type P for primary. And which number are we going to use? Well, we could type 1 or we could use the 1, which is fine. And do we want it to be the full size? Oh, I think we are just done. And there's our last sector and our first sector, and nobody's going to calculate that. I'm not. So now do we have a new partition? Well, let's back. Oh, this doesn't back up.
P. We can type P to see it's in the table.
Yeah. So there's our partition, our primary partition.
And W to write it.
And then I do a bunch more stuff about different types of partition. Because at this point we have a primary partition, but we have no file system.
Yeah.
And we need to make a file system. Yes, we would, I think we do type W for write, but
and now
it says it's reread the partition table,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not a bad idea to reboot just to make sure. Oh, something's going wrong here. Sudo reboot. That way it'll make sure we reread the partition table. Why do we need to know this? Because sometimes you may set up a server where you need 2 partitions or more, depending on the application you might or might not be installing on the server. More often than not, you will probably have a single partition, but it depends on the server. And Linux automatically sets up its own partitions. All right, so Control Alt F5. 01. Here we are back. And then we can go back to our, there. Look at there, SDB1. There's our 20 gigabyte primary partition. Yay. All right, so now we're going to enter our fdisk utility again, because at this point there is no file system. And you can't use a drive without a partition and a file system. You have to have both of them. So we're going to format our SDB1. MKFS probably stands for Make File System. Yes?
We don't want to do it inside the fdisk. MKFS
I am
is
in the wrong
different.
spot. You're correct. Thank you,
Yeah.
Nick. Thank you, Mike.
Just Q to exit.
Yep. Good, that's fine. Q to exit. Okay, I jumped too far. MKFS is our command. And we're going to make an ext4 file system, which is pretty common in Linux. We have to say, where do we want it? tv/sdb1. Oh, well, why didn't that work?
Sudo.
Yeah.
Requires sudo.
So my directions aren't always right. There we go. Look at all that. Created a file system. Yay.
Yeah.
Now, even though we created a file system, we can't actually get to it yet. We have to mount it. So we have, let's see, mount probably. Yeah, okay, there it is. Found my directions, mount, and ext4, which we already knew. This is the location, ev-/sdb1. And here's where we can decide what we want to call it. Well, it says in here new mount, but new mount sounds fine. Yep. Oh, somebody forgot.
Sudo.
And
And
there.
the directory, we have to create it before.
Oh, we don't have the directory.
Yeah, we have to create it.
When did I do that? Oh, I did that. Yes. I'm skipping my directions. There.
As well, because
Yeah.
they're creating the directory in the root of this.
Boy, I'm confusing people on this. They're gonna remember sudo after this one. And there it is, our new mount. Should be, where'd he go?
Somewhere.
I'm not finding him.
Because we are now in our.
Oh, we
home
didn't
directory.
actually,
We have to cd/.
yes. Because I made it at the root.
Yeah. Now we will see it. Yep, I see it, new mount.
Yep, new mount. If I wanted to put it in my folder, I can put it in there. You can put it anywhere you want. Now we can actually mount it since we have a folder to mount it. There we go.
Yeah.
It's happy now. And if we do mount, it'll show all of our, ooh, look at all those things that are mounted. Everything is a file. Yep, it's the very last one. It's in there.
And we can repeat lsblk to see as well very interesting information. Yes, it shows the mount now, new
Yep.
mount in after our XDB1.
Yep, and it also, now that we know what that slash means at the end of SDA1,
Yeah.
you know, that means that the SDA1 is mounted at the root of the
Yeah,
drive.
this is the root of our file system.
And the other drive that we put in there is mounted at new mount.
Yeah, it's like a tree, it's like a branch from our root, and it's actually another drive. And Linux doesn't care that this folder on the another drive, it just treats it as a one file system.
And you can do the same thing in Windows, but it's not very common to redirect a drive. Usually you see it as A, B, C, D, F, G.
But in Windows, they are like different drives, but in Linux, they are in one tree.
Right, the root starts.
We can
Yeah.
just mount it in different points.
And if we go into our GUI and go into our file manager, we should be able to open, there we go, open our folders. And we go to the root, there we go, file system. You should see our new mount right there. And we can use it just like it's a folder, even though it's a separate drive. Because as Mike said, everything goes from the root. We don't have A, B, C, D, E, F. We just have all folders starting at the root. And in fact, this is a drive that is after the root. Because if we mounted this at the root, well, then we'd wipe out our other drive and we wouldn't be going very far. All right, I think that's good enough. There's some stuff about unmounting and all that stuff, but I'm not going to worry about unmounting because I like my drive. I'm going to keep it in case I need it. All right, I think that's enough for today. If you're not sure about mounting and all those sorts of things and why you want to do it, well, this is a good chance to do some research. Questions, preguntas?
No?